Are you looking to fence your property but not really sure what kind of fencing wire to use? In this video, we will be guiding you about which is the best type of wire fencing to use for your property. Before we go into which kind of fencing wire to choose, it is very important to know what is the type of property on which the fencing is going to be put. Normally, properties fall under 5 categories. Firstly are the vacant lands, which could be ancestral properties or lands bought for investment purpose. Secondly, you have agricultural lands where you're either doing agriculture or planning to start doing agriculture. And also many times you may be looking to build a farmhouse inside of an agricultural land and you would be looking at fencing around the farmhouse. The next type of property are villas under constructions or apartment complexes. Next is industrial or commercial properties under construction. And finally, we have the sport complexes and other educational institutions where fencing might be needed. So in this video, if you see, we will be mostly touching upon the vacant lands and the agricultural properties because that is where mostly the fencing wire is used. So let's start with vacant lands. Firstly, when it comes to vacant lands, it does not make sense to spend too much money on securing the boundary as you just want to protect the outer perimeter. Some people will suggest to build an expensive compound wall. Please don't fall into that trap. You should build a compound wall in a vacant land only in one of the two following scenarios. Firstly, if the vacant land is in a very prime location in a town or a village or in a city, or if you're planning to start construction in that vacant land in the next 2 years. For all other scenarios, you should not be looking to construct a compound wall as it can get a very expensive affair. Typically, for example, for an acre, it can cost you up to 10 lakh rupees or 15,000 US dollars. So that is why you should not be opting for a compound wall. And in case you feel that it falls in those two scenarios, you can find out what are the different compound wall options by clicking on this video. Now coming back to vacant lands, the fencing type that you should be opting for should be the cheapest fencing which is available in the market. And this fencing is the barbed wire fencing. Now some people will object saying that you should not be putting a barbed wire fencing as anybody can remove the wire and also the poles, they can try to uninstall the poles. What they are saying is actually right. Hence what you should be doing is concreting the poles, because once the poles are concreted in the ground, no one will be able to remove it. And if they have to remove it, they will need to get a JCB or bulldozer to break the poles. And even if they do it, the concrete marks will still be on the ground, which is a proof that that is your property boundary. And as for the barbed wire, yes, there is a chance that the barbed wire can get stolen, as in some very remote areas, there could be some petty thieves who tend to steal the barbed wire. To prevent this, what you can opt for, there's a special barbed wire called as a PVC coated barbed wire or a polymer barbed wire, where there is a very little resale value. So they will not really take so much on effort, these petty thieves, to really steal the wire. Also, it may not be a bad idea that once you have fenced the vacant land, you can put a small gate in case you decide to go into the property, and you can also put a name board to state that this property belongs to you, or any other message like trespassers will be prosecuted and so on and so forth. Now let's come to agricultural lands. To fence an agricultural land, the first question that you need to ask yourself is are you planning to do agriculture, or is the land mainly for investment purpose? If it is for investment purpose, again, you should opt for barbed wire fencing as we had shared earlier. And in case you are already doing cultivation or you are planning to start cultivation, then fencing is an absolute must, as a lot of theft can happen to the produce and the crops can also get damaged by animal intrusions. The kind of fencing that you should choose for an agricultural property should depend on one of the two factors. One, the type of crop you are cultivating. Why this is important is because let's say if you are cultivating an expensive crop such as sandalwood, teak wood, silverwood or exotic fruits, the chances of theft happening is a lot, and accordingly you will need to choose a fence type. The second factor is the kind of issue that you are facing in that property, such as what kind of animals intrude into your farm. Are they domestic animals like cattle, dog, sheep, goat, or are they wild animals such as wild boar, wild cats, bison, nilgai, deer, etc. Sometimes you may not face much in terms of animal intrusions, but you may have human trespassing happening. Now let's say you are cultivating a cash crop or a low cost crop such as wheat, paddy, maize, and you face domestic animal issues. Here you should be opting for either a low cost fence option such as barbed wire with at least 6x6 lines, 6 horizontal, 6 vertical, or a chain link with a wide opening such as a 3-inch or a 4-inch chain link. Putting such a fence is not just low cost, but it also helps to keep the domestic animals away. Let's come to scenario number 2, where you are cultivating an expensive crop like strawberry or dragon fruit and have wild animal issues in your farm. Actually, the fence type varies according to the type of animals. Now, these are some of the animals that frequent the Indian farm, and the solution changes based on the type of animals. Some of the common animals that we find in Indian farms, the wild animals, are as follows. Firstly, you have elephants, wild boars, wild cats such as cheetahs, lions, tigers, deers and antelopes, bisons, normally in hilly areas, nilgai, very common in North India, and finally monkeys, which can be a huge menace in a lot of properties. So there are several other animals also that intrude into Indian farms, and each requires actually a different fence approach. Now let's take the final scenario where you're cultivating something very expensive like a sandalwood or something which is very prone to thefts such as mangoes, particularly if you're cultivating the variety such as the Alfonso mango, which is exported outside of India. Now, whenever you have a human trespassing issue in your farm, the thumb rule is that whatever fence you erect, it should be at least 6 feet in height. Why should it be 6 feet high? It should be 6 feet in height as that is above the eye level in most cases. And based on the severity of the trespassing, you should opt for any one of the 3 options. Option 1, chain link plus razor wire. Option 2, electric fencing. And option 3, precast walls. Now to understand which is the right fence option for you, please call us on the following number and we will guide you with regards to which is the ideal option for your particular property. We hope now that you have an idea of what kind of fencing to do in case you have in vacant land or agricultural land. In case you are still not clear, please feel free to call us and we will be happy to assist you free of cost. As we are the manufacturers of most of the materials that we have spoken in the video, we can also give you a rate estimate for fencing your property and then you can take a call which is the best solution. As for fence options to choose in case your property is under construction, we will be covering this in another video. So till then, thank you so much for watching this video, and also please don't forget to like and subscribe this channel so that we can come up with a lot more educational content. And in case you have any more questions, please feel free to put in the comment box, and please share this video if you feel this video can add a value to someone who is still deciding and is confused in regards to how to fence their property. Thank you.